Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and I'm going to try to demonstrate a trade today. We'll see if we can find one. I'm going to show you how to do this in real time. People say you can't read to do this fast enough in real time to do it, and so I'm going to show you can. And we'll see if we can find a trade here. We may or may not find a trade. But I'm going to sit here and I may pause it from time to time. But this is in real time. This is Wednesday morning at August 6th, 10:03. Um, that actually says 10:03:56 a.m. So that's we're right at where you can see that's where we're at on the chart right there. So this is in real time live, and we'll see if we can get a setup here. Also, I want to demonstrate another trader wrote this strategy of um, these trades. What this will do if you hit buy or sell, it will automatically put an order, a buy order or a sell order one tick above the last completed bar for you. And so it kind of automates, makes it real easy to get in and out of a trade. I've only used it a few times. I've been kind of, I don't, anytime you try to do something that you're testing something, don't test it while you're trading live. Test it while you're sim trading. So I've hadn't had a whole lot of chance to test it, but I've tested it a few times, and I thought I would use this when when I demonstrate this trade just to show it too. It's pretty neat. Um, I don't know if the trader will share it with us that everybody can use it or not, but if he's willing to, we might fix it where everybody could use this as well. But I'll just have to talk with him. He wrote it and shared it with me, and so I'm not going to share it with anybody else without his permission. And but hopefully we'll get a trade set up here. And again, it may take a little while because this is where trading is all about patience and discipline, and we're in a range, somewhat of a range here. It's not consistent. It's not a consistent range either, unfortunately. So maybe we'll get a turn down up here at the previous highs. Maybe we won't. We do have a break of this channel now, so that may mean this is coming to an end. That this trend up is coming to an end, and that might finalize up here at these highs. So we'll see. I may pause it here from time to time just because you don't want to sit here and watch me. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me wait for hours on a trade if it takes that long. So I don't know how long it'll take. We might get one here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. I'm hoping so because we're approaching the highs of the range, and if it's going to continue to be a range, we might get a chance to go short. We might actually get a long to run up here to a new high as well. This is a big enough range that you can, 63.20 to 63, almost 60. So it's a 40-point range. So it's big enough that you can trade the trends within it. So we'll see what we get. I'm only counting this as a first entry. We got a double top here, and that looks, that's not technically a leg down. So I'm going to count this as a first entry. And this is where a lot of people will make a mistake. They'll by the counts, yes, this is a second entry, but I only see one true leg down. Doesn't mean it won't act like a second entry either, but I'm going to wait and see if we get a true second entry, counting this double top as a new high, because I only really see one leg down. You really need 3 trend bars to make a trend, and here I see 2 bars, but they're not trending, they're side by side, and then you do get a trend bar here. And when I say that, I just mean it makes a lower high and a lower low, and then the next one makes an equal low and a higher low. So you didn't get 3 trend bars there, but here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trend bars before you had a little correction. So we may be setting up a second entry here. We'll see. See if we get a signal bar here. We've got a break of this channel too and don't quite have a new low. You don't always get a new low, so we'll see what the setup looks like, and if it was a good enough setup, I may not wait on a new low. I may risk going long here on a good second entry. So we just have to see how the context is everything, and that's where some people, know. I don't care how closely the two patterns look; they may be identical, but it's what's surrounding them and what the chart's doing and what the context is of the chart that means everything. So, don't get wrapped up in patterns. We're not pattern traders. We are chart readers, and we only use the patterns to time and set our entry. And this is where you have to be. This is where you can really get messed up on an entry like this is timing. You might get a second entry here, but the timing may not be good. But right now there's no setup because this signal bar is not good enough. A break above that bar would be a second entry long, but I won't take it because that signal bar is not good enough. But if I was going to take that one, I would click this buy button and it would put a buy stop one tick above that bar for me. But I'm hoping it doesn't trigger and we get another opportunity here. But it looks like it did trigger. So, but you can see there's a little congestion, and it may work out fine and go higher. But it wasn't a good setup, so I didn't take it. And you'd be surprised how many traders will say, okay, they want to trade so bad they'd still take that trade. And it may work, but it could just as easily fail. It doesn't fit our entry criteria, and if you break the rules and enter when you're not supposed to, eventually you're going to get burned. So yeah, right now if you'd have entered in that trade, well, it looks like there was enough ticks you would have scalped out of it. You would have got lucky and got out before it turned down and stopped you out right there. But it wasn't a good setup, so I didn't take it. We technically had a triple test there, but again, signal bar is no good for a short. So we may roll over and go lower right here. We'll just have to see that, or we could just be setting up a range here. We'll just have to see how it plays out. It looks like we may get our new low on this retest of this low here. And there we do. Now we got a new low. So now you got the trend down, close outside, and a new low. So now you could go higher. Everything's played out. We still don't have a new high on this channel. But we may not get one because it may be a range day. So we'll see if we set up another low here and get a chance to take a trade. I have to try to decide if this ends up bullish, if I want to enter here on the failed breakout and the new low.
Order submitted.
Something didn't work right there, I don't think. My buy stops there, and I guess I'm long. Something didn't work right. But anyway, we entered the trade. We'll just play it out. Yeah, this is why you practice these. You know, you when you're doing something different
Order
like this.
canceled.
Oh, it did. It took me out at 4 ticks. Right? Yeah. Okay. Well, there it still worked. I was wrong. I didn't see the order, but it automatically took me out. So there it was. I must still have one going here as well. I know it's just moving the profit up. But there you go. You saw that trade. I did that in real time. Wasn't that hard to do. I even was piddling around with something that, you probably shouldn't when you're taking a live trade. But I would have sworn before I saw my order in there, and this time I didn't see my order in there. But that was a quick, easy um, 4 ticks. And you saw how I did that, and it was pretty neat. You just hit the buy button, and it puts the order in for you. Let me just put a sale in because it'll put it way down here, and then we can cancel that.
Order submitted.
Hmm. I'm just going
Order
to close
canceled.
that one. It's not showing my order for whatever reason. It usually shows the order up there. But anyway, you see how that works. That was just kind of a side option there. But really, what I was doing here was just demonstrating this long trade. And let me go back and explain that to you again. We're in a range, but the highs of the range are up here. We've got this trend working up, and you finally got a close outside, but you got this trend working down. So we got a new low. We also got a failed break lower because this looks like sideways kind of a range here. And I took the long on the breakout that came back in. When this closed back inside the range, I felt okay taking that trade there. And we got our 4 ticks. Now, usually I might try to get a runner. Here I may not try to get a runner, but it looks like we could have got a nice runner out of this one. Um, but either way, whether you're scalping out or getting a runner, we were just trying to scalp out here. And we just did one contract because I was trying to demonstrate his buy sell stuff here. And you saw how it worked. But usually before I see the orders there, I'm just not sure why I'm not seeing the orders. Maybe I don't have something turned on, but I'll look at that later. But you saw how it worked. You just click the button and it puts the buy stop 1 tick above the last bar, and then it filled it, and when it reached 4 ticks, it exited automatically. Then I put another order in, it never got triggered, and I just closed it. It was a sell stop, so it would have went below this bar and then moved up below this one, and I just closed that one. Because I really didn't want to go short. I just wanted to demonstrate how it worked. But we can look at that later. The main thing I wanted to do was show you how you can find a real trade and do this in real time when people say you can't. And but you can. No, it's not something you can just start, read a manual and practice for a few months and do. It takes a while to understand all these nuances and to be able to see all this stuff in the chart. And again, hopefully you understand we were expecting a retest of these highs. We were expecting prices to try to go to the high of the range. And so once this break, notice what happened. You had a leg down, which gave us a break of this channel. So then there's a two-legged correction and a move to a new low. Now, granted, that's just a first entry, but by that time we're playing range rules, plus we're playing the fact that we had a break of this channel and a new low. So we played it both ways there. We had a nice signal bar. You see my entry one tick above it. I exited 4 ticks later. Real simple. And, you know, if you'd have tried to get a runner here, you'd have had one. It'd still be going. So you technically could have gotten, you're never going to get all a runner, but that's over 7 points right there. But if you were just moving your stop up below each bar, guaranteed almost 5 points right there. And we'll just leave that there and see if we get stopped out at 5 points. But yeah, we would have had a 5-point runner if we'd have tried for a runner there. So far, we'd have a 5-point runner. We might end up getting more than that. When this bar closes, we'll move it up to 1 tick below that bar if it doesn't break below this one first. Okay, there it is. So now we would have 5.5-point profit guaranteed. Still haven't got stopped out. Obviously, this one's hypothetical because I didn't trade a runner, but I'm just showing you the possibilities of how this is done. People say you can't do it in real time. Anybody can mark the trades after the fact. Well, that's not even true. Yeah, you could go mark and say, okay, I guess I should have entered here, and I guess I should have entered here. There's a big move, and I should have entered here, and there's a big move. But a lot of these don't have a good setup. And could you explain why you should have entered there? Do you have an explanation of why you should have entered there? And people couldn't do it. So no, you know, it's not as easy to do this after the fact as people seem to think it is. Yes, it's easier than doing it in real time, but that's not the point of why we do the chart lessons. The chart lessons is just so to show you where the trades are so you can study and learn to do it yourself. That's the only reason. That's all they're there for. I'm not marking my trades. I keep my trades totally separate from the chart lesson. So I'm not marking my trades. I'm not I'm not trying to show you real trades in real time. I'm just showing you the opportunities that set up each day using our strategy so you can learn it. That's all those chart lessons are about. And this thing's still going higher. So yeah, it looks like we could have got over 6 points on that runner. And it's still going. So you never underestimate a runner. Usually if we're in a trend, I'll usually try to go for a runner. But on a range day, I probably would have exited right up here or done like I'm doing now, moving it up below each bar. But generally, I probably would have exited right at the highs, right at the overnight highs, which we're just now, which is up here. That's generally how I would handle that. But if you can do it, you're better off to keep moving it up. Because now we've locked in 9 points on a runner. And boom, we got stopped out. So we would have got 9 points out of that runner. And you could probably be done for the day. It's 10:20. And we started this thing 20 minutes. We started at 10 o'clock and done at 10:20. I mean, that's a tough work day. I'm going to tell you, that'll stress the toughest worker to death. But that's the kind of work day you can have if you learn to do this. And no, it's not easy. It's the hardest easy job you'll ever have because not even once you learn it and once you can do this, you still have to fight that urge to break the rules, to do dumb things. I talked about it yesterday in the chart lesson. I talked about how you got to stay focused, you got to stay disciplined, and because and if you start having a big win streak, you'll get lazy and you'll make a mistake. That's what happens. You'll get too overconfident and you'll get lazy and you'll make a mistake and you'll end up having a loser. But if you really focus, you'd be surprised. You might get to 25, 50, 75, 100 wins in a row. People do it. I think my record is 86 wins in a row. And I haven't really tried to checked it in a long time, but one time I did a MES test when the MES first came out, and I traded it live and I tracked it every day, and it was in the forum, but I think we lost those images when we redid the forum. But it was all there, and I think I got up to 86. I had an 86 win streak on that test, and I was just trying to take one or two trades every day in the MES, and I would post all those trades. I wouldn't show them live, but I would post them afterwards and show my results. And just to show that even, people say you can't make any money in the MES, but yeah, you're not going to probably make a living in the MES, but you still can build while you're learning without going straight to the ES and having so much leverage. You can still learn without losing as much money, but at the same time, you can still build your trading capital up. I think I built that account up, made $1,000 or so in 30 days or so. Which, if you can make $1,000 a month, in some places people live like a king on that. Maybe not here in the U.S., obviously. It's probably getting harder elsewhere, but there's some places in the world that people tell me if they can make $100 a day, they can live like a king. And it's easy to make $100 a day once you learn to do this. So it's not going to happen overnight, and some of you are never going to learn it because you don't have the you won't listen, and you don't have the ability to follow rules and stay patient and be disciplined, and you're going to break the rules. And you're just not going to listen. Some people are ADD and can't listen, and those people might struggle. But I've got at least one successful trader that's ADD. They've told me, they're on meds for it, but they're still successful. They've made it happen anyway. So it can be done, even if you got problems concentrating and staying focused on things. So, but there it was. I hope you enjoyed that trade, and I didn't mean to get on the soapbox kick again, but I think this stuff is all important, and I'll show you some more of this buy sell thing here. I'm gonna play around with it some more, figure out why I didn't see my trades on here. Maybe I need to turn my chart trader on. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, I did figure out why the order wasn't showing up. Just you do have to click on chart trader here and just make sure it's at least on. I keep mine hidden because I don't want to have to cover up my account numbers and all that. I don't want to show that. So I just clicked on chart trader hidden. Make sure that's on. And then if you do
order submitted,
sell, you can see the order. You can see that. They put it one tick below the current bar, the previous bar that's closed.
Order canceled.
So it's a pretty neat little deal. And if you have the chart trader on, then it'll put the other orders in there, and you can see them too, and you can move them around if you really wanted to. So yeah, I knew something wasn't quite right because I remember a few times I've tested it, I've been able to see the orders and I couldn't see them. But yeah, just click on your chart trader up here and turn it on. If you wanted I encourage anybody to send me recordings of your live trades because I like to show these. They're always, even if you have a loser, because they're good learning opportunities. So don't be shy about sending those to me. I was getting quite a few, and then I hadn't gotten any lately. But um, don't be don't hesitate to send those to me. It may take me a week to get it up there, but I'll at some point I'll record. We'll go watch it, and I'll record it and I'll put it up. And I don't call anybody's name, and I won't show your information. But yeah, try to keep your. One thing I will ask you to do. Most people keep their chart trader open. Keep it hidden, just so I don't have to try to cover up your information. Um, some of you may not care, but it's just not wise to put your account number and information, things people can see like that, because you just never know with the internet these days. There's some smart, crazy people that will scam you in a blink. So keep it hidden if you can. If you can't, I'll cover it up for you. That's what I've been doing. But all you got to do is click up here and just click Chart Trader, except keep it hidden. And again, you can see if I hit
Order
sale,
submitted.
it puts that order under the one tick under the last bar.
Order
Now, if I
canceled.
put it in again, it would put it below that bar.
Order submitted.
You can see it. I
Order
want to be careful
canceled.
that it don't get triggered, because I'm not really looking to take a trade. I mean, this thing's going to come back here soon, but you never want to try to pick a top on a really strong momentum move like this. And this is a strong momentum. So, yeah, this would have been a great one to try to get a runner. You'd still, I mean, we if we'd have just moved our stop up one tick below the last bar, we'd have got out with 9 ticks on a runner. But now you could have gotten, if you managed it a different way, you could be up to almost 20 points on a runner, 16 points. And the key at first to try to do this is to try to learn to scalp and be profitable scalping, and then bring in the runners later. But the runners can really change your math. I mean, just think about it. If you got one 9-point runner, well, you wiped out a bunch of losers. And if you got one 16 or 20-point runner, well, you might wipe out a week's worth of losers or a month's worth of losers. And that really starts to change your math, and the profits really start to multiply. So now don't end up getting more losers trying to get runners. And the main thing I try to get across to people is, until you can easily trade 5 contracts and you're good at that, you probably should leave the runners alone and just concentrate on scalping. And the reason I say that is because if you're trading 2 contracts and you have a loser, you lose twice. But if you have a winner and you don't get a runner, you don't win back even what you lost, and it starts to work against you. And even with 3 contracts, if you get 2 winners and still have a loser, but you lose 3 every time, it works against you. But when you get to 5, you can do 20% runners and 80% winners, and so every time you win, you get at least 4 winners. And if you have a loser, you only lose 1. Well, the math gets easier. So hopefully that makes sense. I mean, my opinion is you need to be able to do a 80-20 split. 80% scalp out, and then 20% for your runners. It takes 5 contracts to do that. And so that's the reason I suggest you be able to do 5 contracts. But this thing's still going. We're in a very market still rallying. So this is a strong trend right here, strong momentum. I don't know what triggered that, but we got in, and I talk about this a lot. How these failed break lowers often turn out to be important lows or highs for the day. That's an important low for the day so far. I mean, we may take all that back here shortly, but for now, that's an important low. And look at the move it had. I love these breakouts. That's the one time when you're in a range that you might want to try to get a runner is on a failed breakout, because sometimes they're important lows and highs. If you could have caught that, and depending on how you manage your runner, some of y'all that are better at managing them than me could have got, you're up to almost 20 points here now. Could have easily got, I mean, if you just exit, you could have, you could easily get 15 points out of this, 15 to 16 points. And, depending on how good you are, you might have got more. What I would do, this looks like a spiking channel. I would draw this channel and wait till I got a break, and I wouldn't exit till I had a break. So that would have kept you in this till that break lower right there. And really, we still don't have a close outside, so you still may have not have exited. You might have kept your stop below the last low or what, the last swing or whatever until you get a close outside. Now we got a close outside, so I'd probably definitely have my stop right there. We're probably going to come back to the EMA now. We'll see. Yep, there you would. You would have, by doing it that way, you could have at least gotten 15 points. So anyway, I didn't mean to extend this video that much longer, but I thought I'd come back in and show you what's going on there. See if you hit the
Order
sell button real
submitted.
quick, it puts that stop one tick below the last bar, which is that bearish bar.
Order canceled.
Let's close that because I don't want to get triggered to the short there. Not a setup there. Might be a good trade to the downside, but it's not a setup that we trade, so I'm not going to enter it. So anyway, I hope that it's been a good video. I hope it was interesting to you. I hope you learned something, and I'll keep you posted on this. What would be great if the trader, he said something about it. I hadn't heard anything back from him, but he said something about being able to set it up where you could incorporate the runners too. You take off half of it here, and so we can incorporate our runners to all be automatic too. You just hit the buy or sell button, and everything else is automated other than managing your runner probably. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the trade. I showed you in real time how you can do this. You can do it in real time. And if you do have something like this, it makes it quicker and easier. But I've gotten where I can click this thing and hit my order in no time flat. I mean, I've gotten good at that because I've been doing it for 28 plus years, or however long I've been trading with Ninja Trader anyway, probably close to 20 years. So I've gotten good at it. But when all you got to do is click a button and it puts it right where you want it, that's even better. And if you suddenly don't like it, you can just hit the close button as well. So it's a great little tool, and I appreciate the trader sharing it with me. And I just need to fix it where I can get my runners to work with it too. So hopefully he might, if you're watching this video, I'm not going to call his name. He may not want me to call his name, but if you're watching this video, thank you for sharing this with me. And if we can incorporate it where it can add runners, that would be great. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Again, this will be my second time to close this video. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.